Racer X.
Well, hello there, everybody in the online world. Welcome to a very cool night of 1RC Oval Racing in the balmy city of San
Matt
Antonio,
Clark.
Texas.
Hello.
Hey, Matt. All
2
right,
minutes
so
to the
we
start
are
of the
just now jumping into our mains. We've got
John Wallace.
a hot little contest going on here between young Joe Makaitis, Sir John Wallace, and Tony Racer X Hall. Tony making adjustments to his hat between rounds, promising it's worth at least 10 seconds a lap. We shall see. We do have all of the racers checked in. How about marshalling? Do we have adequate marshalling? Here comes Fernando. Fern, no cheating. Okay, that includes your marshalling as well. Homero, the party, Cantu, here also, taking time out from his busy bowling schedule to participate in RC Racing tonight. We are using the smaller of the two tracks, and drivers looking like they're ready, willing, and eager to get this one underway. We've got a marshal scampering across
1
the
minute
track.
to the start of the race.
All right, don't listen to her. Listen to me. Drivers, are you ready? All right, we've got adequate spacing out there. We've got Joe out front, then John and Tony. Okay, listen for the horn. Here we go.
45 seconds to the start of the race.
And they are off. Oh, Tony, a little trouble. Yep, that hat adjustment definitely biting him on that start. However, he's got a lot of resolve. Looks like he's going to try to track him down. Little trouble for, I believe, yep, that was our DQ, getting hung up over there on turn number 3. This is a 70, wait, no, was it a 50-lap race? Oh, hang on, this was supposed to be 70. I thought it was set up for 50. Yep, hang on, I can fix it. You want to do 50? Okay, 50 it is. All right, by popular request. Okay, so meanwhile, while I was fiddle-farting around with the computer, Wallace snuck out into the lead, 1.8 seconds, holding off young Joe. Let's see how long he can hold off Joe. There is John coming down the back straightaway. Joe drag racing him down. So basically in the midgets, what you have are two entirely separate drag races with a couple of corners. Tony finding turn number 4. Both racers get around him. So John underneath the loop, for those of you watching, there goes Joe through turn 1 and 2. Joe 2.2 seconds back. Tony, even with a couple of little mishaps, only 8 seconds back. So Tony, you're still in this one. All right, okay, a little more trouble for Tony. He backs it up, gets it underway again, and safely tucks in behind John. And John taking it wide, not going to let Tony. So let's see what we've got between car 1 and 2. 2.8 seconds. So Wallace extending his lead ever so slightly. Now Joe has to figure out how to get around Racer X as they come down the back straightaway. Tony using up the whole track past Godzilla. Joe closing in on him. Tony takes a little wide off of 4. Bumps, and Joe draws right in on his bumper. Now, this is playing into John's hands. Little trouble. Gets it back underway. So, John coming around while Joe was stalking how to get around Tony. So, this is car number, here we go. There, Tony up against the pipe on 3. Both of them get by. So, there's Joe down the back straightaway, followed very closely by John. So, John, not really establishing much in the qualifiers, saving it up for the main.
Macaitis Gina. Go, Joe.
Yep, there you go. Come on, Joe. Got it. Yeah, we've got a new racer with us tonight. Kyle, a little trouble for Tony. That turn number 2 has been a problem for him. So, John, drawing up behind. So, 5.1 seconds separate the Wallace and Joe Makaitis. However, Joe's been racing a long time. He's a crafty veteran, not allowing John to close on him too much. Very equal lap times. John, your fast lap of the race, 5.91. Joe, a 5.99. So both those cars running very close Let's see what we've got as far as laps. So Tony coming back into the picture again here. John puts down a, let me see, here it goes, a 6.1. Joe a 6.1. So almost identical lap times. A little trouble for Tony. Getting bit by the Godzilla turn yet again. John a 6.6. And Joe a 6.3. So Joe, little bit of breathing room there, trying to keep John from lapping him. 14 laps left to go, guys. Tony coming back into the picture again here as Joe draws up behind him, but Tony will go in tight and let him by. Then he goes wide to let John go by. Okay, here, wait a minute. Now they are drawing right up on each other. Ooh, looks like, yep, Joe holding him off. 6.0 seconds, 11 laps to go. So we'll get you some lap times as they come around this time. Wallace a 6.1, Joe a 6.1. Here they are, nose to tail.
9 laps left.
John 6.2, Joe 6.2. And what did they do this time?
8 laps left.
And let's see, okay, John a 6.2, Joe a 6.1. So Joe gained a 10th, squeezed out a 10th that time around. John a 7.0 and Joe a 6.4. Joe takes a deep breath.
6 laps left.
This one's far from over, though. Still have 6 laps to go. Tony, Godzilla turn, bites him again, and spits some flame at him as well. So it's John, Joe, Tony overall running order, final 5
4 laps left.
Does look like John's got this one in the bag. Joe kept from being lapped.
3 laps left.
Pulls it back in within 3.5 seconds. So good run, Joe. John,
2 laps
haven't seen John here a couple of weeks. We've got another race coming up. In 2 weeks, we're going to have rental cars available for that race. Anybody watching want to join in? Quick little fun Wednesday night program.
John Wallace done.
Wallace takes that one. Congratulations go to
all drivers are finished.
Sir John
Racer
Wallace.
X done.
Victorious.
The race is completed.
All right, so I need to see all 3 of you guys over by the winner's circle. And we will get into our A main late model. 6 cars.
Maca-itis Gina. Way to go, Joe.
Yeah, all right.
Good job, everyone.
Up next, race number 2. 1 RC late model. A main.
We're going to pause
race
this
order
one.
is
Let me find the
Chris
backdrop
Peel,
here. Wherever
John Wallace. Racer X. The Eliminator. Joe Makaitis. Kyle Yuchinski.
There it is. Still can't see down there far enough to blow it up. So we'll just go with that.
Two minutes to the start of the race.
All right, we'll give you guys a little bit of time to make the transition over from one
Joe
car
Makaitis.
to the next.
1 minute to the start of the race.
Don't listen to her. All righty here, looking for... All right, so here we've got the Eliminator strutting up to the stand, looking a little overconfident, which means he's obviously doing something illegal as usual. Right? Somebody tech that car. Wallace over there blasting his battery at 30 amps, but we're going to allow it. Fern hit his at 40 amps. John, no, I don't want to fire.
The Eliminator.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. Hey, for those of you listening at home, sorry, I haven't called a race in a little while, and I do not see the interface to Facebook. So I can talk to you, but I can't text you or, post to you. Whatever.
Kyle
whatever I'm
Yachinski.
looking for. I'll get it figured out by Saturday if I RD on Saturday. Meanwhile, I've got Luna Makaitis Yushinski checked in. Kyle, in his very first small car race, commenting on that it's a lot cheaper and a whole
Racer X.
lot safer than the real thing.
Chris
All
Peel.
right, we've got our TQ checked in. Final. Kyle, you going to race from there? You like that better? Into the track? Fine with me, buddy. All right, so we're going to give them a little bit more time due to the back-to-back. So, Merrill, I'd like to thank you for marshaling tonight and helping out with that. Appreciate it, my brother. We also have a cheerleader / marshal. All right, so looking over into the pits, John's battery is actually smoking, which means he's ready. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with all the cameras here, too. Wait, nope, there's the pit cam not. All right, I'll figure all of this out next time. But anyways, we got our main camera going. That's the primary thing. We are running on the small layout here. The larger oval, for those of you watching over to the right, is part of a practice track here. You can come out here in the weekdays and rent RC cars from us. For $10, they run at least a half an hour. And if you like it, you can buy one of them. All right, so driver's going to get a little heat in their tires. Going to allow John to get his preferred spot on the stand. Our TQ for this race. So we'll do a quick driver introduction while they're warming up. Our sixth place qualifier in his first race ever, Kyle Yushinski. Number 5 qualifier,
John Wallace.
no stranger to the late model class. That's right, young Joe Makaitis. And then and the eliminator himself, Fern Luna. Tony with yet another infinite, tiny little adjustment to his hat. Over is our third place qualifier. Carrying over from his magnificent win in the last midget race, our number 2 qualifier, John Wallace. And our TQ for the night and the instigator for the crate race coming up in October. Do not want to miss it. Has the potential to have a $1,000 payout if we get enough entries for it. That's right. It's Chris Peel. Everybody just calls him Christopher. Okay, guys, let's get a little bit better spacing out there. Hamiro, will you help me kind of stack them up a little bit so we don't get a pile into the front corner? All right, so Chris is looking, there you go, pretty good. Then John, there you go. Tony. Thank you, Tony. Fern, Joe. And Kyle. All right, excellent. That looks a whole lot better. Okay, drivers, no pushing, no shoving, no contact until we get through the first corner. If we do manage to smack into each other, then I will restart the race. Drivers ready? I'll haul last butt down there and help you marshal here as soon as I get it started. Here we go on the horn. And that is a good clean start. We are off. This is a 70-lap race, so patience is going to be the victor of this race. Oh, Kyle looks like he lost part of the front end of his car. Yeah, so it's like an aerodynamic adjustment. All right, so good clean racing here in the first 5 laps, right up until the point where I mentioned it was good clean racing. But so far, so good. We've got our TQ out front, Chris, pacing the field with Wallace right behind him. Somewhat of a replay of that exciting midget race we had. Overall running order, the best that my eyes can tell from here is Peel, Wallace, Hall, Luna, Makatis, Yashinsky. Everybody's settling into a nice pace. Kyle, you're definitely figuring this out. Well done, sir. All right, drag race down the front straightaway. These late models look like fun. I'm going to have to get one and break it like all the rest of my cars. Okay, so Chris holding on to that lead. I can't quite tell, but it looks like about a 2.6 second over John. But Tony hanging in there. Tony only 7/10 behind it. Oh, a little trouble there between 3 and 4. Sorts itself out. 53 laps remaining. A little trouble for Kyle. He backs out of it, gets it going. Oh, and he gets a little nudge into the wall, then gets hammered. All right, careful on the back straightaway. Car slowing down again, Kyle? Or is that you? Nope. Okay. Keep going. All right, so it's Peel. Hall up to second. Wallace third. Luna fourth. And Makatis fifth. Kyle sixth place. So, Tony, guessing right on the hat adjustment. You got, okay. Sorry, Amaro, I didn't want to run out in front of everybody. Trouble on the front straightaway. Amaro's got it. There we go. All right. Okay, gentlemen, 44 laps left to go. Right now, okay, Kyle apparently having trouble with his loaner rental car. I believe that's one of Chris's cars. If it was Fern's, it'd be, a lot faster. Okay, so John moving back into the second place spot, bumping Tony down to third. Only one car out of the race. Still got 5 of them out there. 39 laps left to go. Peel, fast lap of the race. I can see a 5.6, I believe it is. John, you don't know what? I'll go walk over a little closer, see if I can't figure this out. Trouble right here in 2 and 3, sorts itself out. Here we go. Okay, we can let you guys know where you are. We are halfway through this race. Chris, you are the leader with a 9-point-second lead over John. So, Chris, class of the field here tonight. John, you have a 1.5-second lead over Tony in third place. So, Tony still lurking, not far behind John Wallace. Fern, you are only 3 seconds behind Tony. So, there's a battle. Joe, 22 seconds back. So that second, third, and fourth spot is still open for just about anyone. And Wallace has got it. Okay, Hall taking over second, bumping John down to third. Fern, 5.7 seconds back. So that battle between Hall and Wallace, a good one. Still got a little bit less than half the race left to go. 4 minutes and 20 seconds into it. Overall, running order drivers, Peel, Hall, Wallace, Luna, Makatis, Yashinsky. Everybody's settling into a nice pace. So, Tony holding off John. So, get this, Chris, fast lap, 5.540. Tony ran a 5.561. John a 5.6. Fern a 5.6. Joe a 6.1. And Kyle, your fast lap was a 7.6 before whatever happened to your car. Good close racing right there. Boy, oh boy, John right up behind him and didn't touch him. Oh, what are you doing over there, Fern? Get out of there. Get. Fern trying to cheat is again he's taking the long route. Yeah, I was going to say that wasn't going to help you too much. But, Fern, you're 13 seconds back. So the battle right now, what we're really watching, Tony holding off John, getting a little bit of space. He's 5.5 seconds ahead of John. That equates to about a lap. You can see it on the track here. So here's Tony coming by me. The 2 yellow cars underneath the loop with some traffic between. Oh, no. So trouble in turn 1 and 2. I believe John got caught up in that. Tony takes a deep breath. and gets a little bit of more space, probably about a lap. Yeah, that's going to equate to a lap. So here's your second
10
place
laps
under
left.
the loop, coming around turn 1 and 2. Here is your third place car coming around 1
9
and 2
laps
down
left.
the back straightaway. Gets caught in the track seam, makes it go a little squirrely where the two pieces of carpet
8
come
laps
together.
left.
At least I think it does. All right, here we are inside of the
7
final
laps
laps.
left.
It's Peel, Hall, Wallace, Luna, and Maqueda.
6 laps left.
So Chris, with about a 7.6
5 laps
second
left.
lead over Tony, enjoying a 7.6 second lead.
4 laps left. 3 laps left.
Looks like she could wrap up this way. Yeah, good spacing
2 laps
between
left.
everybody. Less some kind of a disaster, like a car blows up or flies out the
Final
front
lap.
window. But other than that, a little trouble for Tony. He's right
Chris
here.
Peel done.
Can he gather it back
The
up?
Eliminator done.
That was like
John
the
Wallace
disaster
done.
we were talking about, but he holds
All
them
drivers
off.
are
So
finished.
Tony still
Racer X done.
finishes by about 12
Joe
seconds.
Maqueda done.
All right.
The race is completed.
Excellent, good racing, gentlemen. Let's see. I need Chris Peel, Tony Hall, and Sir John Wallace to the winner's circle. I'd like to thank everybody for racing with us tonight. It was a nice, relaxed, chill Wednesday night program here in the 65-degree, super cooled mall here at Rolling Oaks. So that's going to do it for us. Anybody watching online, appreciate you joining in. Matt and Gina, of course, Gina, always there. Thanks, Gina. And we are out of here. What is it? Spay and neuter your pets.